Hey, everybody. I thought I would pop on and do a little bit of a content session on team member sick days. It's an interesting subject, and I want to look at this subject in a different way because if you're encountering a lot of sick leave requests in your business, there is a couple of ways that you could look at it. I mean, obviously, your team members are entitled to sick days, and things happen. People need to take sick days because they get sick. That's just the reality of it. But why do some people take more sick days than others? I really want to help you understand that from a psychological process and even from a business operations perspective, because I think that I often have chats with clients and we have a system called Voxer and we go backwards and forwards. And I witness conversations with clients and my support coaches that are quite fascinating at times. And what I've been finding is that the business owners, I feel like, are probably struggling the most in business. And I'll define that struggle. All right. So the struggle is a lack of process and procedure in their business, or a lack of impact of that process or procedure. Business owners that are struggling with culture in terms of, positive culture, high levels of commitment and motivation from their team members, positivity, culture pieces in terms of that there's been maybe a bit of toxicity or a bit of resistance or challenging, maybe team members that are not the right fit that have been there for too long. So we've got process, procedural issues, we've got cultural issues, potentially some significant mindset issues of the business owner as well, in terms of, there could be some scarcity mindset or, some, poverty-based thinking, victimization, poor me sort of stuff. Lack of ownership, lack of responsibility taking for the business owner, but then obviously that's showing up in terms of the team culture. Now, in these businesses, and I don't feel like it's a coincidence, what I've noticed is higher levels of sick days from their team members. Now, like I said, sick days can be sick days. Or if we want to peel the layers back, what's really going on? When people are taking lots of sick days in a business, it can be symptomatic of the fact that the environment is not encouraging, enticing, positive. It's not conducive to someone wanting to be there. And that might be a hard pill to swallow. It might even be, that your business is not suffering from all of those different areas, but you still have that person that, every Monday you get the call and you're thinking, goodness me, this person's sick a lot. It could be somebody that is completely in overwhelm, that's struggling with the rigors of the workplace. You might have systems and processes and a reasonably healthy culture, but for whatever reason, that person's not coping with what they need to do and how they need to do it every day. Therefore, they tap out. They are not showing up for work. There might be issues in their personal life that, for whatever reason, they're not getting adequate support around from your business. And don't get me wrong on that. There are some limitations around that. We can't, completely sacrifice the running operations of the business because somebody has challenges at home. We obviously need to still run a business, but there's obviously some support that we can provide or some conversations that we can have to be able to nurture and support that person to possibly have an impact on the frequency that they're needing to take time out or not be able to show up for work. The other side of that is that, this is not about having the wrong people in your business. I want to make that clear. That's a completely different kettle of fish, right? If you've got the wrong people, then there's nothing that you can do that's going to fix that. You just need to remove the person, right? But the challenge that I'm presenting to you is, are there things going on in your business that are leading to higher levels of team members not wanting to be there? because it costs a lot of money. Sick leave costs a lot of money. So what's your strategy around it? Do you have a strategy around increasing the productivity of your business practices or doing things to work on your culture to see whether you can get a decrease in the level of sick leave that your team members are taking? We often don't think about this. I spoke to a business owner the other day that was she has 3 and she's been crippled by sick leave. And I said, well, what's really going on here? I know that people are, team members are entitled to sick leave, but is it a symptom of other challenges in the environment in terms of, lack of process, lack of structure, lack of culture, lack of, being able to manage overwhelm in the team? Like, can we get a strategy in place, and could our measure be reduction in sick days? Something to think about, because sick days cost businesses a lot of money. So you need to think about this in a different way. Is there something that you could do differently to start to reduce the amount of time that your team members need to take away from the business, possibly in order to just cope with their role? Okay, some food for thought.